Hello and welcome to this video tutorial. Today we're going to create this shape, which is a circle sort of made up of lines. Making this in Photoshop is very different to making it in Illustrator because of the way Photoshop works. So I'm going to start with a new file, and I suggest that right now that you start with the same size document as me, just so that you can see how things are going to work. So I'm making mine 1000 pixels by 1000 pixels. I'll press Ctrl and 0 to size things up. That's Command 0 on the Mac. I'm going to show my layers palette. So let's just make sure that we've got that visible, because that will help us see what we're doing. Now, one of the reasons why Photoshop is so different to Illustrator is we're going to look at this very briefly now. This is the line tool. So I've got it selected here. You'll see that there's a whole lot of tools here. I've just selected the line tool. I have shape selected up here. I'm just going to hold the Shift key as I draw out a line. Now my line has a very thick weight on it. That's going to help me to explain to you what's going on. Coming here to the direct selection tool, I'm going to click away from the shape, and now I'm just going to click in here and pick up this anchor point here, and I'm going to drag on it. Now you would imagine that the whole line is going to drag. That's not the case. You see, lines in Photoshop aren't actually lines. They're just rectangles with no height. So I'm just going to delete all of this, because that's going to explain to you why, if you're an Illustrator user, we're doing it this way, because it is going to work. It's just a little cumbersome. So to start off with, we're going to the View tool, we're going to Guides, and we're going to New Guide Layout. What I want is a layout for these guides to make things a bit easier. So I only want one column, but I do want 16 rows. So this is going to give me my lines. If you want more lines, do more rows. But right now, 16 is going to be plenty for me to deal with. No gutter. Just make sure there's no gutter there. Click OK. Now we're going to draw our ellipse. So we're going to the Ellipse tool, going to click once in the document, and then I'm going to make an ellipse which is 900 by 900. So that's almost the height of this document, but not the height of the document. So we're just going to bring it in here, and I want to center it. So with it selected, let me go to this and select Canvas, and I want to center it on the canvas. And then I'm going to reduce the width of the line. Now the way we reduce the width of the line is make sure that we select one of these tools that are shape tools. You can see that we're drawing shapes here. That's really important. So I'm going to select one of these shape tools so we can get access to this, and I'm just going to drop my line weight down to about 2 for now. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to end up with lines here and here, and everywhere there is a grid line. If you don't like that sort of spacing, then you'll want to change that down the track. But right now we're just focused on getting this thing working. So next we're going to just cave in, and if Photoshop is going to call lines rectangles, then we're just going to deal with it that way. So we're going to the Rectangle tool. I'm going to start up the top here. Now I have all of these options selected. So I've got guides and canvas guides and smart guides. So that's going to make things a lot easier in terms of selecting things. So I'm drawing a rectangle. It's a shape. You can see it here. I'm drawing this rectangle up here. And we're checking here that it's going into its own layer. So that's really, really important. So it's now going to provide this line here. So I'm going here to the rectangle. I'm just going to select it here. I'm going to drag it onto the plus symbol. So we've got 2 rectangles. I'm going to the Path Selection tool. Make sure it's the Path Selection tool. I'm just going to drag this one down so it snaps into place. So what we're doing is we're building up these lines. But we're going to do it more quickly than one at a time. I'm going to select both of these. Click on one, Shift click on the other, right click, and choose Merge Shapes. And that's put both these on the same layer. Now I'm going to make a copy of it. Now we're going to select this layer, making sure that we've got everything selected here, and start dragging down. Now if you find, as I am, that only part of this is going to move with you, what we're going to do is turn off the back layer here, and let's go and select these 2 and then start moving them. So we're taking multiples at a time. It's just Photoshop being a nuisance. Select the 2 layers again, right click and Merge Shapes, and then we're going to make a duplicate of this, drag it onto the plus sign, turn the back one off just for now, select over everything that is visible here, and just start dragging it down. So we're now done with this. So we've got every line that we need here. I'm going to choose View and then Guides and then Clear Guides. So we get rid of the guide so we can't see anything there. And I'm going to merge these two shape layers together so that we have a layer that has all the lines on it and a layer that has the circle on it. So now we're going to take this layer that's full of the lines. We're going to choose Edit and then Cut. For some reason, Photoshop just drops a rectangle in there. Just ignore it for now. It's not actually doing anything. So we're going to select the ellipse layer here and we're going to choose Edit and then Paste. So what we're seeing here now is the lines around the edge and nothing in the middle. That's fine. We're just going to select Subtract Front Shape. And now we're getting closer to what we want. So once we've done that, we'll go back to this set of options and we'll choose Merge Shape Components. You're going to click Yes to turn it from a live shape into a regular path. Then you're going to deselect everything and reselect everything again, making sure that you've got all the pieces, and go back and do that Merge Shape Components yet again, because if you don't do it twice, it just doesn't work. Go figure, Photoshop. Okay, so now let's get rid of this rectangle that we didn't want. And the next thing we need to do is to just get rid of just these lines. And we do that with the Direct Selection tool. So this is the white arrow tool. What we're going to do is come in here and just click over this line. Now, it's really confusing because everything is selected. But when you press Delete, you should just delete this line. Now, if you didn't go and do that second Merge Shape Components, you'll probably find that you're deleting everything. So you just want to be really careful. That's your indicator that you didn't do that step again. So next we're going to go through here and just remove these lines. You can see why I only chose 16 lines for this particular example. If I wanted more, this is going to take me a whole lot longer to do. I'm leaving the one at the bottom right now because I'm going to need to get in really close to what's going on here to be able to get rid of what I need. So I'm just going to zoom in here. I want to get rid of this circular line or curved line. So again, back to the Direct Selection tool, make sure I've got nothing selected and then just select the little bit that I want and press Delete. Now, I lost it the second time, so it's coming out in two parts. So we're going to select the second part, and there's an anchor point just sitting there. I'm going to get rid of that too. So Control 0. So now we've got what we set out to achieve. We've got the lines, but they're very, very narrow, but that's just fine because now they're actually lines. So I'm going back to my Path Selection tool, I'm going to select over them, and we can adjust them. So we can adjust the stroke weight here. So now we have a larger stroke weight. We can also adjust the caps on these. So come here to the Line tool and go to Caps and choose Rounded Caps. And so now we have our circle made up of lines in Photoshop. It's cumbersome, I admit it's cumbersome, but it is achievable. Having made a shape like this, there are a few things that you can do with it, and I'm going to show you a couple of those right now. Firstly, just note that I've saved this file. That's a really good thing to do in case you make a mess of what you're about to do. So we're going to warp this. So I have it selected. I'm going to Edit and then Transform Path, and we'll go to Warp. Now, in terms of warping, there is the option to actually drag on things to warp it, so you can bend things yourself manually. I'm just going to undo that, and I'm going back to the Warp tool, Edit, Transform Path, go back to Warp, and instead of a custom warp, I'm going to choose a pre-selected one. So I'm going to the Warp drop down here. I'm going to choose Flag so we can bend these. Now, before you have a fit and think that's just really, really stupid, you've got some settings up here, and it's the bend that's causing this. So I'm going to take my bend from 50 down to 8, and now we have a sort of better bend in our lines. I'm just going to click the check mark, and we now have a circle that's made out of bent lines. So that is one option. I'm just going to undo that, and I'm going to show you how you could color things. Now, one of the difficulties with coloring these things is that you can't select just one element. So if I go to this one element and go and change the stroke color, you'll find that every single one of these changes accordingly. So I'm going to start with one of the colors I want to use, but I'd like to alternate these. So what I'm going to do is take my ellipse in the color, well, one of the two colors I want, and I'm going to make a duplicate of it. And this topmost one I'm going to change to the second color. And then I'm going to my direct selection tool, and I'm going to select these lines individually. And I'm going to select the ones that I want to delete. So being sure that you're selecting it. You can't see here, all of these anchor points look exactly the same, so it's a bit hit or miss. If you make a mistake, just press Ctrl Z to undo it. And the mistake is going to be that everything gets deleted. So all I'm doing here is going step by step through here to select every other line. And because the pink lines are on top and because I'm deleting every other pink line, what we're doing is we're seeing through to the blue lines underneath. Don't technically need to do anything with the blue layer to remove every other one. This is going to save just perfectly. So you have some options for sort of warping things and also for changing the line color this way. I know it's cumbersome, but it does give good results and they are achievable inside Photoshop. Of course, if you're an Illustrator user, check up in the top right-hand corner of the screen because I have a link to an Illustrator tutorial where it's obviously way easier to do in Illustrator because of the way that Illustrator deals with vector shapes. If you like carefully researched content like this, clearly presented in a step-by-step format so that you can get great results, then you'll love my Skillshare content. I'm a Skillshare top teacher. I have hundreds of short courses on Skillshare that you can access along with thousands of other great courses, all for the price of a single subscription. If you're interested, there's a Skillshare coupon for you in the description below to use to sign up. Using this coupon benefits me as a creator, and it helps me continue to make free content available here for you also on YouTube. Thank you for joining me for this video tutorial. On the screen now, you'll see a video that I've hand-picked for you. If you enjoyed the video you've just watched, I know that you're going to really enjoy the one I've picked for you to watch next.